COVID is forcing colleges to rethink tuition costs. While some universities have increased their prices, others are cutting or freezing tuition. Purdue University, for instance, plans to keep its costs the same for 10 years straight. It's actually not a new thing for them. This has been happening since 2013 when Mitch Daniels came in and became the president of Purdue. Joining us right now to talk about the cost of higher education and what the spring semester will look like is Purdue President Mitch Daniels. And President Daniels, it's good to see you.
You too, Becky.
Let's first, before we talk about this tuition aspect of it, just talk about what so many parents and kids are wondering right now. What's the spring semester going to look like? I know that you had people there in person, students there in person going through this, but what's going to happen come January?
I wish I knew for sure. We're apprehensive about January as we were about this past fall, maybe for slightly different reasons. One of our big concerns now is not that we won't be able to manage the virus among our young people or even our staff, but that many of our staff might be unavailable, either through their own illness or quarantine because of someone close to them. But our full intention is to be back in class at an even higher rate. We had about 2/3 of our classes entirely or partially in person. We had a reasonable amount of social interaction for our students, but everything had to be conditioned by our determination to be safe and to try to make certain that our entire community, including our neighbors around us, were safe as well.
What was the biggest challenge you faced this fall?
I think the daily challenge of tracking the data, trying to make certain that we quickly removed a person who had tested positive. We were testing thousands of students a week and staff. Try to make sure that we moved them quickly away from other people, but also allow them to maintain their progress academically. And that was a huge undertaking to be able to set up a system where they could move seamlessly from in-person or partially so to fully online and back again.
Mitch, let's talk about this tuition freeze, because I think it's really a question that people are facing, especially as so many colleges are asking their students to learn online and remotely. It comes back to this issue of should tuition be rising constantly. I know it's something that you've been concerned about for a long time. In fact, in 2013, when you came in, you did freeze tuition at Purdue. You've just announced that tuition freeze will last all the way through 2023. So a decade of tuition freezes. Over that period of time, you really brought costs down, or at least brought it more in line with what costs should be. You went from being the second most expensive tuition room and board in the Big Ten to being the most affordable, because I guess for the 8 years or something before that, it had averaged about 6% a year for tuition gains. How come you've been able to do this and stop tuition increases when so few other colleges seem to be able to do that? What are you doing differently?
I suppose it's just a matter of what you prioritize, and we have said at Purdue, a land-grant school created really to broaden availability of higher education, still the core of our mission, and we've simply said that not at the expense of other goals. We've grown the faculty as fast as the student body. We're paying people competitively or more than that, but that we would make this, we hope, a common cause across our campus, and on a campus where people, thank goodness, disagree about most subjects you can name. We all agree that we want Purdue to provide a great value in education, a very high quality, marked by rigor and high discipline, but also at a price people can afford. And so, yes, cost control has been a big part of it. I have to say that as the years have gone by, we've been growing the student body, and as your business viewers know full well, a strong top line makes everything else easier.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.